it is important to note, before we start our review of the case, that we will be striving towards understanding the attitudes and values expressed by literary texts and their impact on the reader. We will consider the changing historical, cultural, and social context in which particular texts are written and received. Alrighty then. Our subject today is Santiago Nazar, in a small town in Colombia. A fairly young man, as you can see, who's very wealthy, at least for the standards and the living conditions of everyone around him. He was murdered in front of hundreds, with nearly everyone knowing it was going to happen. It is bewildering to me that how everyone seemed to know the murder was going to take place. Well, everyone except Santiago. But no one did something to stop it. Even more confusing, though, was why a man so highly looked at was murdered. What did he do to deserve a tragic murder in front of his loved ones? Okay, let's look at the logistics. Time of death, 7:05. It is to my knowledge that the bishop was visiting the town on a boat, but to their surprise, he never even took a step on land. Could this have aggravated the people? Christianity is the main religion in Colombia, with nearly 90% of the population being Christian and 70% of them being Catholic. It is to my understanding that these values forbid murder, so that there's a little confusion with the aggravation by a bishop. Well, anyways, so the murder weapon, 2 butcher knives. And the suspected murderers, Pablo and Pedro Vicario. They are twins who had a sustainable life, so there'd be no reason for them to murder him in the sake for money. Was there conflict between their views, or maybe within their family? Okay, so there's 5 Vicario family members. You have the 2 twins, you have Angela Vicario, Charisma, and Poncio Vicario. And after many interviews, I had come to the realization that the day before the murder was Angela Vicario's wedding, who she married by Argosano man. He was also a very wealthy man. So let's play a clip of the interview we had with Angela Vicario. All right, Angela, where were you the night of the murder?
I was at home crying.
Elaborate.
Well, after the night of my wedding, I went with Bayardo, and he was...
He was what?
Well, he was angry.
Angry, and why?
He found out that he found out that I'm not a virgin.
You're not a what?
He found out that I'm not a virgin.
Not. Okay, whatever. What happened next?
Well, because he was angry, he dropped me off at my house where I met with my mother.
Is your mother the reason for the bruises?
Yes, but it was my fault. I deserved it. It was my fault.
So as you can see, the big issue here is her not being a virgin. In Christianity, purity is a big virtue. So it is really important for a woman and men to stay chaste. But there's one problem. It is easy to tell if a woman is not a virgin, but not for a man. And this means there's no real pressure for males to stay chaste. And this creates an injustice or an imbalance between women and men. And usually the women are the ones who get in trouble for it. Well, after the interviews, I can only assume that they believe Santiago Nazar took her virginity. So the twins murdered Santiago for the sake of the family's reputation. I'm pretty sure the term to describe this type of murder is an honor killing. Honor killings happen all around the world, believe it or not. They usually revolve around rules of religious laws, that are placed, and once these laws are broken, the only way to bring justice to the family is through, well, murder. In a lot of cases, this involves women and purity in some sort of way. It is such a complicated topic with the morality of the decision lying deeper within the culture of their society. So in Colombia, the culture of the society is the reason why Pablo and Pedro, I guess, murdered him. As a result, the punishment, though, for honor killings is a lot less harsh. For example, they might only get sentenced to 1 year in prison for a murder. Well, anyways, what about the witnesses? How could everyone know who and when the murder was happening? Did everyone really have it out for him in the city? I highly doubt this. Although the town would probably have been okay with the honor killing, knowing the circumstances, I believe there's more to it. Here are a few examples of what the witnesses said before the murder. So by Don Rogelio de la Flor, "Don't be silly. Those two aren't about to kill anybody, much less someone rich." This phrase can really show the living conditions and the power of the wealth within that society. They are treated with the utmost class and respect, as if their money makes them better than everyone else. And I guess that's a legitimate reason why would someone touch a wealthy man, let alone murder him? Another witness said, Colonel Aponte, he said, "No one is arrested just on suspicion." He knew about the murder was going to take place, but he did nothing about it. He said he felt as if he couldn't do anything about it. There's just suspicion. This is like a justification for not stopping the crime, according to him. Throughout the witnesses, all you hear is, "Oh, I didn't think they would do it," or "What could I do about it?" This is known as diffusion of responsibility. Diffusion of responsibility is a psychological phenomenon in which people are less likely to take action in the presence of a large group of people. As seen throughout the case, people felt as if they were not obligated to help because someone else could, or maybe even someone else of more importance, such as the police or the mayor. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at the Vicario twins and the events that led to the murder. Many witnesses heard them talking out loudly about how they're going to kill Santiago de Sar. They were telling everyone. So let me ask you this. Why would someone try to commit a murder but tell everyone of the action? There are two possibilities that they don't really contradict each other. Firstly, did they want glory for the honor killing? Or did they want to get caught before the murder even happened? As if they didn't want to commit the act, but they were forced by someone or some fate. As said by Clotilda Armenta, it is to spare those boys from the horrible duty that's fallen onto them. She is certain that the Vicario brothers wanted to get caught before the murder, but society pressured them into committing the act. If they didn't commit the murder, who are they to their family? What does that say about the family name? And are these two twins even men? It is as if they were forced, not by one individual, but the entire society. It is in society that the term machismo arises. Machismo is known as a strong or aggressive masculine pride. If a man is lacking of these qualities, is he even a man? This is the case for the twins. To conclude, thank you for hearing the details of the honor killing that takes place in a Chronicle of Death.